Have you ever tried to do something really nice for a friend, but it ended up being a complete embarrassing disaster?
Or have you ever tried to do a good deed but ended up looking like a clown with bright red paint all over your face? We have all been there.
Welcome back to the Daily English Loop. I'm your host, Alex, and today is all about the funny, chaotic, and embarrassing moments of daily life.
I'm Lisa. Hello to all of our amazing friends listening all over the world. Today's episode is going to be full of laughter. And remember, learning English through funny stories is the best way to improve your memory and sound more natural.
It really is. And if you want to keep improving your English with us every single week, please make sure to click that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. Okay, Lisa, grab your tea because my week was completely chaotic.
Chaotic? Oh no, what happened? You usually have such quiet weekends.
Well, last Saturday was my best friend Mark's 30th birthday.
Oh wow, happy 30th birthday to Mark. That's a big milestone. Did you throw him a party?
Yes, we did, but we didn't just throw him a regular party. We threw him a massive surprise party.
Ooh, a surprise party. I absolutely love surprise parties. The energy is always so high.
I love them too, but let me tell you, it was so difficult to organize. Mark is very observant. He notices everything, so it's almost impossible to keep a secret from him.
I know people like that. You have to be very careful. So what was the master plan?
The plan was simple. I invited about 20 of our friends to my apartment. We turned off all the lights, closed the blinds, and made the room pitch black.
Okay, classic surprise party tactic, hiding in the dark.
Exactly. People were hiding behind the sofa, crouching behind the kitchen counter, and my buddy Dave even squeezed himself inside the coat closet.
In the coat closet? That sounds so uncomfortable.
It was. So we waited in the dark. We waited for 10 minutes, then 20 minutes.
Waiting in the dark is the hardest part. You have to be so quiet.
It is. Finally, we heard the elevator ding in the hallway. Then we heard footsteps approaching my front door.
Oh my gosh, the tension! This is the best part.
The footsteps stopped. We heard the key turning in the lock. The door slowly creaked open, and we all jumped out of our hiding spots and screamed, "Surprise!" at the top of our lungs.
And was Mark totally shocked?
Well, the person at the door was definitely shocked, but it wasn't Mark.
What? If it wasn't Mark, who was opening your front door?
It was the grocery delivery guy.
The grocery delivery guy? No way!
Yes, Mark had ordered groceries to my apartment earlier that day using a delivery app, and the guy had the access code to the building. He was holding 2 huge paper bags full of food, and suddenly 20 people jumped out of the dark screaming at him.
Oh, that poor man. Was he terrified?
He was so scared he actually dropped a bag of oranges. They rolled all over the floor. He looked like he had seen a ghost.
That's hilarious. What did you guys do?
We all started apologizing immediately. I said, "Sir, I'm so sorry. We thought you were our friend Mark." We helped him pick up all the oranges from the floor.
Did he think it was funny or was he angry?
Luckily, after his heart stopped beating so fast, he started laughing. He said it was the most exciting delivery he had ever made. I gave him a very generous tip for his trouble.
He definitely deserved a big tip after almost having a heart attack. But wait, when did Mark actually arrive?
Literally 2 minutes later, we were all still laughing about the grocery guy, and the lights were fully on. Mark walked in, saw 20 people holding drinks and oranges, and just said, am I interrupting something?"
So the surprise was completely ruined.
Completely ruined, but it was honestly the funniest party I've ever hosted. Real life is always so much funnier than anything you see in a movie.
It really is. That's a fantastic story, Alex.
Thank you. Now it's your turn, Lisa. Tell me, you have a funny story from your week too.
Well, it might not be as crazy as a screaming grocery delivery guy, but I had a very embarrassing moment on Sunday.
Oh, I love embarrassing stories. Please tell me everything.
So, I volunteer at an animal shelter on Sundays. It's a place where we take care of dogs and cats that don't have homes.
That's wonderful, Lisa. I know you love animals.
I do. This Sunday, it was spring cleaning day. Everyone was given a job to help fix up the building. My job was to paint the wooden dog houses outside in the yard.
Painting. That sounds like a fun, relaxing job. What color were you painting them?
A very bright cherry red.
Okay, bright red. Did you do a good job?
Well, I thought I was doing a great job. I had my big paintbrush and I was painting very carefully. Swish, swish, up and down.
Sounds like perfect painting technique to me.
It was, but I forgot to pay attention to the weather. Suddenly, a massive gust of wind blew through the yard.
Oh no, wind and wet paint don't mix well.
Exactly. The wind blew right as I lifted the brush, and the bright red paint flew off the bristles.
Where did it go?
It went directly into my face.
No, straight into your face?
Yes, I had a thick stripe of bright red paint right across my forehead, down my nose, and all over my left cheek.
Oh, Lisa, you must have looked like a clown.
I looked ridiculous. And the worst part is, the shelter manager, a very strict woman named Mrs. Gable, walked outside exactly at that moment.
Oh no, not the strict manager. Did she see you?
She stared at me for 5 seconds in total silence. Then she slowly handed me a wet towel and said, "Lisa, the red paint is for the dog houses, not for your face."
She's technically right. Did it come off easily?
Not at all. It took me 20 minutes of scrubbing my face in the bathroom sink to get the red paint off. My skin was pink for the rest of the day.
Well, at least the dog houses look nice now. Sometimes a little bit of a mess means you worked hard.
That's exactly what I told myself. Anyway, speaking of messes, how are things going at your office this week?
Actually, work was a bit of a mess yesterday too. The entire office lost internet connection for 3 hours.
3 hours without internet? In a modern office, that's a complete disaster. What did you guys even do? You can't send emails or check documents?
We literally couldn't do anything. We just sat at our desks for a few minutes, staring at our blank screens. But then something amazing happened.
What happened? Did people start panicking?
No, people actually started talking to each other. Usually my office is completely silent. Everyone just stares at their monitors and types on their keyboards, click, clack, all day long.
That sounds very typical. Modern offices aren't very social places anymore.
Exactly. But without the internet, people stood up. We went to the break room, we drank coffee, and we had real human conversations.
Wow, forced socialization. Did you learn anything interesting about your coworkers?
I learned so much. I learned that the very quiet guy who sits next to me, Kevin, is actually a semi-professional salsa dancer.
Kevin, the quiet guy, is a salsa dancer? That's amazing.
I know. And our boss, the director of the company, told us that his secret hobby is knitting sweaters for his grandchildren.
Stop it! The big boss knits tiny sweaters? That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
Right? I never would have known these things if the internet hadn't broken. It really proved to me that when technology stops working, real, authentic human connection finally starts.
That's a beautiful lesson, Alex. It's so important to put down our phones and actually look at the people around us.
It really is. But of course, 3 hours later, the router beeped, the internet came back on, and everyone instantly ran back to their computers in silence.
Back to the digital world. But hey, at least you know Kevin can teach you how to dance now.
Exactly. Now, Lisa, speaking of making connections with people, I actually had one more very embarrassing story happen to me this week.
Another one? Alex, you're a walking comedy movie this week. Tell me what happened.
This one happened at the local supermarket on Tuesday evening. I was just trying to buy some simple vegetables for dinner.
Okay, the supermarket. A very dangerous place for you, apparently.
Very dangerous. So I'm standing in the produce section looking at the bell peppers, and I look down the aisle and I see a woman standing there. She has curly brown hair, a long green coat, and a yellow scarf.
Okay, a woman in a green coat.
It was the exact same green coat and yellow scarf that my older sister Sarah always wears. It looked exactly like her from the back.
Oh no, I can see where this story is going.
So I decided to be funny. I quietly walked up behind her, put my hands over her eyes, and yelled, "Guess who?"
Alex, you didn't.
I did. I covered her eyes and yelled, and the woman gasped, spun around, and swatted my hands away.
And it wasn't your sister Sarah.
It was not my sister Sarah. It was a complete stranger who looked absolutely terrified of me.
Oh my goodness, a strange man covering her eyes in the vegetable aisle? She must have thought you were crazy.
I felt so terrible. My face turned as red as the paint on your nose, Lisa. I started bowing and saying, "Ma'am, I'm so incredibly sorry. I thought you were my sister. You have the exact same coat."
Did she call the police or did she forgive you?
She looked very angry for a second, but then she saw how embarrassed I was. She took a deep breath, smiled a little bit, and said, "Well, tell your sister she has excellent taste in coats."
Oh, that was a very smooth response from her. She saved you from total humiliation.
She really did. But let me tell you, I will never, ever sneak up behind a person in a green coat again. Always check the face first.
Always check the face first. That's the golden rule of the supermarket. You know, Alex, these funny, embarrassing stories are actually the absolute best way for our listeners to practice their English.
You're so right, Lisa. Why do you think storytelling is such a powerful tool for language learners?
Because stories contain real emotion. When you just memorize a list of vocabulary words from a textbook, your brain forgets them very quickly. But when you tell a story, your brain remembers the feelings.
That's so true. Our listeners will probably remember the word terrified because they're thinking about the poor grocery delivery guy dropping his oranges.
Exactly. They'll remember embarrassed because they picture you covering a stranger's eyes with your hands. Emotion makes language stick in your memory.
So, to all of our friends listening right now, stop just memorizing flashcards. Look at your own daily life. What funny thing happened to you today? Did you spill your coffee on your shirt? Did you send a text message to the wrong person?
Try to explain those little funny moments out loud in English. Tell the story to yourself while you're driving your car, or tell it to your pet dog. It's the best speaking practice you can do.
I completely agree. Well, Lisa, talking about the grocery store and dropped oranges has actually made me really hungry. My stomach is starting to grumble.
I can actually hear it grumbling from here. It's definitely time for dinner. What are you going to eat tonight?
I think I'm just going to order a pizza. It's fast and easy.
Just promise me you won't jump out of the shadows and scream surprise at the pizza delivery driver tonight.
I promise. I'll open the door very normally, say thank you, and give him a nice tip. No screaming involved. What are you having for dinner?
I'm going to keep it very simple, too. I'm just going to make a nice turkey sandwich. No painting, no wind, no messes. I've had enough excitement for 1 week.
A simple sandwich sounds perfect. Well, Lisa, this has been an absolutely wonderful conversation. I feel so happy and relaxed just chatting with you and sharing these silly stories.
Me too, Alex. They say that laughter is the best medicine, and I definitely feel great right now.
We really hope that all of our listeners at home or in their cars or on their daily walks laughed along with us today.
Yes, and remember, if you didn't understand every single vocabulary word we used today, please don't worry.
Exactly. Don't stress about the small details. Just listen to the rhythm of the language. Follow the general flow of the story and feel the emotion. The more you listen to natural conversations, the easier it becomes.
Step by step, your listening skills will improve. Well, Alex, I look at the clock and it seems our time is up for today's episode.
Time really does fly when you're having fun, doesn't it? But before we officially sign off, we have a fun assignment for our community.
We do. We want to hear from you. Have you ever had a funny, embarrassing misunderstanding? Did you accidentally wave at a stranger or walk into the wrong classroom?
Please scroll down to the comment section and tell us your funny story. Try to write it entirely in English. It can be just 2 short sentences or a long, detailed paragraph.
We absolutely love reading your stories. It's the highlight of our week, and it's a fantastic way for you to practice your written English in a safe, friendly space.
And before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe to the Daily English Loop and click the little notification bell so you never miss our next fun conversation.
Give this episode a big thumbs up and share it with your family, your friends, or maybe even your sister who wears a green coat.
Thank you all so much for spending your valuable time with us today. You're all doing an amazing job learning this language. Keep practicing, keep laughing, and keep smiling.
We'll see you all in the next episode. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye for now, friends. Stay safe and happy learning.